I thought today I was here and I'm going to do a couple of jobs on the 1970 Bedford Debonair camper from England. So today I was going to put the other tail light in it and get the wiring sorted for the tail lights, and the glass man's been and put all the windows back in apart from the windscreen, which he took out, and we need to get a rubber for that. But anyway, I thought we'd do a walk around, walk in, walk around, and show you exactly what it is for those who don't know. So here it is. It's got a few things which aren't original, like these front lamp thingies there and there. I've put those on because the beehive lights are just too expensive, and I had those in stock, so I thought, well, I'll put those on. Now, they were built in England as motorised caravans. So being a CA Bedford, it doesn't have the slidey doors. It's got normal opening doors. It's got 3 doors, 2 in the front, 1 in the back. I've put the front mirrors on myself because it didn't have any when I got it. So as you can see, all this stuff is all fiberglass. So fiberglass all the way down the sides, around the back. So that's the back view of it. As you can see, this lamp down here is one I've got to fit. I've also got to put in the number plate brackets and put a number plate light in it, and it has a rear step. That lamp I did a couple of weeks ago, got all that in there. Because the fiberglass, as you can see, is very thin, it's quite difficult to get stuff to screw to it. Yeah, so this is basically the outside as I bought it. I'm not going to do anything with the outside of it. It looks old and scody, but that's what I want. It has got an engine and stuff in it. This is the bonnet, which isn't finished yet. So we've got engine in there, and it's got some, I don't know if you can see that wiring there, but the electrician's been in and put wiring everywhere. Yeah, just a bit of a look-see. Open the door, and this is the inside of it. Obviously there's no seats or anything inside at the moment because we're doing wiring, which has got to go all through the floor. So all this interior and the front part's been pulled out. So you can see that the electrician's got the binnacle out. Yeah, I'm not too keen about the wood panelling at the moment, which I've put in, which is, you know, this stuff here. But we'll see how that progresses. So if I hop in here, and I can actually stand up in this thing. So this is the interior so far. This cabinet in here is where all the electrics are going to go for the vehicle, and the battery will go in there as well. And there's the new fuse box just going in under the floor, the water tanks. So there's the fridge, must have fridge, obviously for the cold snacks. Now which way does this open? I think it opens which way? That way. So yeah, put cold snacks in there, and there's another cupboard in there. Close that. So there's more cupboards there, and obviously up the top here. This one here is just support for the end of the cabinets. We're going to do something with that. I'm not sure. Put a design or something in it. But anyway, so here we have the sink. That's the sink, which obviously there's no plumbing yet. The sink tap goes in there, in that little hole. And this one here is the cooker. Now the cooker's going to be interesting to use because it's way over on this side, but when I bought this unit they didn't have the one that went the other way, and then I thought to myself, anyway, well, you don't really want the cooking bit here where people are going to be walking past in case they knock something over. So that's the cooker, and that's just gas. Yeah, and so we've got these cabinets at the top, fold down, so you can put, I don't know, you could use that for another cupboard or for a shelf, I suppose, if you really wanted to. But so they all fold up like that. And this one here is the wardrobe. We've got to put different hinges on these doors, so that goes into there, and it's got a window so you can get ventilation into there, and another little shelf up there. So this bit here, so in the back here obviously we're doing stuff. So there's another cupboard here which opens up, so when you're cooking you can have stuff in there, you know, that you can get to. And obviously another cupboard here, and same on this side. All the back. And in the back here we've got the kitchenette, if you want to call it that, with there's seating, so you can sit down at the table. There'll be a tabletop in here, and the squabs that go on the seats all slide together, and you use the tabletop for the bed base. So this is basically where the bed will be. We got some nice flash air vents in the roof. This bit on the back here, all the way along here, that's going to have the same as that. So it ties in with all the rest of the woodwork in this area. And obviously the back door with the steps to get out. So yeah, so that's the bed. Yeah, like I thought, this has been a project, and hopefully this year we'll have it so it's running and driving. I've got a new carburetor to go on it because I've rebuilt the other one a couple of times and it still doesn't want to run very well. So the carburetor that's on it, well, you can't really see it, that thing there, you know, there's not enough light, but that's pretty old and scody. So yeah, I'm going to reset the camera up around the back where we're doing that, trying to put that light in, and we'll see how that goes. If you like this, please subscribe. Okay, well here we are. I'm trying out a new microphone system because previous videos I've noticed that if I'm a bit further away from the camera you can't hear what I'm saying. So hopefully this is going to work. Tail light. It's just floating around in the back. So I've got to somehow get that in there with that held in the right spot to screw it all together. The other side it seemed to work a bit quicker. So I've been thinking about how to hold this in the correct spot, and what I thought I could do is kind of just, if I can, because obviously my arms aren't long enough, I can just line that up with that hole. This is all very fidgety because that's got to line up there and that's got to line up with that hole there, and then somehow hold that, drill a little hole in it and put a screw in it to hold it all together. So I'm going to try that and see how that works. I wonder if I could just hold that with pliers. So anyway, today outside it's minging, it's cold. Luckily it stopped raining, which is a good thing. So if I can grab that, kind of like that. No, that's not going to work there. I've got to find something to grab hold of. No, actually what I really need is a big fat screw that'll screw into there. Can we screw that into that hole? Oh, come on. Was it just too big? Oh no, that's what we wanted. Something like that. So we can line those two holes up and then we can just hopefully, about there. Bang a screw in there. Of course, when I've got this, I can take that screw back out again. Well, that worked, didn't it? Shit, look at that. Mint. And we can adjust that slightly. I wonder if I should just put another screw in there to hold it. Because this thing, when that goes on, the only place... Because what I did with the other one is the screws go through the lens, through here, and screw right through to the aluminium behind. So that'll sit there like that. And then I don't have to worry about those two. That's a good idea, Richard. That's an excellent idea. So why don't we put another one down here? Oh, moving. Oh, I gotta somehow, I can't hold that tight enough. We're just gonna have to try and persevere with that in that position. Oh, come on. I guess I could try and, from the back. Finger's getting tired from trying to hold it on there. I could probably put a shorter one on that side. It's that cold, I'm struggling to get the screws out the container. Ah, well, so there you go. Lot done. Take that one out. Don't need that one. Well, that worked quite well, didn't it? Well, put it in the hole, Richard. Which hole did that come out of, that one? So that's now nice and secure in there. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Right, that one there is... The indicator goes to the top, that one here goes on there, around to there. Now, of course, we've got this bit which goes on there. Supposedly, where's that hole gone? So So that goes on there. The next part of the puzzle is putting the lenses on. So we got the lenses go like this on there. That looks good, doesn't it? Perfect. So yeah, things are coming along with the other projects. If you've been following the channel, you'll see all the other little projects that I've got going on. So this one's got to go on first because the other lens holds it on. It did come with a backing thing. It goes on there, I think, like that. So anyway, when we line all that up, and I think that's the right size drill bit, that goes through that hole there. That and there, that and there, that and there, that and there. Get that screw, throw that through there. So you can screw that without trying to over tighten it and break it into there. What do you think, people? So this lens then clips over the top of that lens. That basically really holds the bottom lens in position. So we can drill Now obviously these lenses, when they were originally fitted, did everything from the back, but because now most of the back is enclosed, making it quite difficult to get to the light bulbs, which is why I've decided to do it this way. Now these lenses aren't that common. They're off, if you know about English vehicles, they're off the Roots Group vehicles, so they fitted Hillman Huskies and Minxes and a couple of others, and the guys that built these things decided that I'll use those. So they obviously rang up Lucas, because they're a Lucas lamp, and said to the people, well, we want some of those, and so they fitted these to it. I guess it happened a lot back in the day when the English motor industry was purling along. You had all different sorts of people making stuff and just ringing up the major suppliers and saying, oh, we want this, or we want that. It's kind of the same as the little Berkeley we're doing at home. That's made up of some proprietary parts, but the really important bits, they all made them themselves. So how's that? That lamp's now mounted. That was pretty easy, Richard. You've been worrying about that for the last 2 weeks to get that done. Nice and solid. Right, all I've got to do now is get the wiring correct, because I disconnected the wiring on them when I took those units out to start modifying them. And now it's got to get the wiring right, so when you put your foot on the brake light works. And the same for the other stuff. I don't know if I'll bore you with when I do that, but yeah, I've still got to put, because it's got brackets that go on here, and the number plate goes across the top. And then I've got a few number plate lights, but I'm not quite too sure which one I'm going to use. This thing's obviously had stuff. The more I look, the more holes you find. But anyway, I think that'll do for that. And if I get the lights working today, I might just put the camera back on quickly and show you. Until then, like and subscribe.